Hi everybody, today I can practice line dilations questions by keeping the slope, multiplying b by the scale factor centered at the origin, keeping the equation exactly the same if it's not centered at the origin, which means the center of dilation is on the line. So there's a cheat for this, and then there's a not cheat for this. Let's go over the cheat first, and then we'll talk about the not cheat. The cheat will get you through like 80% of the questions, but of course you want to get through all 100%, so we'll talk about how to do that. And again, everything here you've learned already. This is just putting it all together. So here's the cheat. If the center is the origin, multiply scale factor and b. The slope always stays the same. If the center is the origin, then you're multiplying the scale factor and b. If the center is not the origin, then it is going to be the same line. The reason is, if the center of dilation is on the line, then it's the same line. We learned that in a previous lesson. Technically, you should be checking to see if the center of dilation is on the line. But again, most of the time, really all the time that has been multiple choice, if the center of dilation is not the origin, it's on the line, it's the same line. So how do I use this? Again, if the center is the origin, I multiply the scale factor in b. If it's not, it's the same line, it's the same equation. Number one, line dilated, origin. For origin, multiply scale factor and b. My new b is -4. No matter what, for line dilations, the slope always stays the same. The slope is 3. The y-intercept is -4. Choice 2 is your answer. Number 2, line y equals 3x minus 2 again, centered at -1, -5. That's not the origin. If it's not the origin, same line. Origin, multiply scale factor and b for your new b. Not origin, same line. No matter what, the slope has to be the same, because whenever I dilate a line, it's always parallel, it's always the same slope. Let's do that again. Line dilation, centered at not origin, same line. Line dilated, centered at origin, multiply scale factor and b. No matter what, the slope always stays the same. This was -1/2. My slope is -1/2. My y-intercept is 24. Your answer is choice 2. So that's the cheat, and that's how the question's asked like 75% of the time. Now we'll talk about some other ways in which they could ask a question based on this concept. Let's move ahead to number 16. The line y equals 2x minus 1 is dilated, centered at 4, 1. It doesn't say what the scale factor is. So if it doesn't say what the scale factor is, I don't know what the new image is going to be. All I know is that line dilations parallel keep the slope. I know that whenever a line is being dilated, the slope has to be the same. So this has a slope of 2. This has a slope of 2. That's the answer. When a line is being dilated, it must have the same slope. So if it says a line is dilated, it doesn't say what the center is or what the scale factor is. All I know is that the slope must be the same. Now, usually this is not, they probably wouldn't ask you one like this on the regions. They would ask you one more like this, where you're going to have to get y by itself. But it's the same concept. I'll go over this one quick. The line is dilated. It says the center is the origin, but I don't know what the scale factor is. So all I know is that it is parallel. It must have the same slope. So we get y by itself. To find the slope, y equals -2/3 x plus 8/3. So I'm looking for a slope of negative 2/3. Of course, the choices are not in y equals mx plus b form, so I have to get them. The answer is going to be, it looks like choice 1. If I take a look at choice 1, 2x plus 3y equals 5, minus 2x, 3y equals negative 2x plus 5. I find that my slope is negative 2/3. So, if a line is being dilated, I know that the slope must be the same. It doesn't give me any specific information about the scale factor or the center. All I know is the slope must be the same. So you're just basically doing a parallel question, finding which one has the same slope. And the final type of question, line N is represented by the equation 3x plus 4y equals 20. Determine and state the equation of line P, the image of line N, after a dilation of scale factor 1/3, centered at the point 4, 2. Well, I really need to know if the center is on the line. That's the cheat. It's only the same equation if the center of dilation is on the line. If it's open response, I need to now determine that. So to determine if this is on the line, I'm just going to replace x with 4 and y with 2. 3 times 4 plus 4 times 2 equals 20. 12 plus 8 equals 20. They're equal, which means it is on the line, which means the equation is the same thing. The explanation, if center of dilation is on the line, the equation is the same. That's the concept. And to determine if the center is on the line, I just substitute those values in for x and y, the point of the center, and if it works out, then yes, it's on the line, and if it doesn't, then it's not. So that's it. There's a lot of different questions they can ask. Again, just to go back, the cheat, which will work 75 to 80% of the time, if the center is the origin, you're multiplying the scale factor in B. If it's not the origin, it's the same line. No matter what, the slope has to be the same. Origin, I multiply the scale factor in B to find my new B. I always keep the slope. Not origin, it's the same thing. That's the most important thing to take from this. That's all I got. Practice it. Goodbye.